here, so get some music. So we're just gonna sit for a minute, short little meditation to tune in. So we close our eyes, taking a breath, just breathe into the body, breathe into the lungs, breathe into your heart, breathe into the mind, and release, exhale, and let it all go. Breathing in again, fresh air, just cleansing, purifying the mind, the body, the soul. Letting new light in and exhaling, letting out anything that we just need to let go of for the day. And beginning to just create space for us in this moment, just to connect, be present, being mindful, heartful. And I'd like for us to just imagine right now that we're sitting together in a circle, in each other's presence, with those others that are part of the serving circle. And within the circle, also those who would like to hear our message. Those who want to be filled with the light, insight. So we see ourselves sitting together in this beautiful circle, holding hands. And as we breathe in, we feel the light in our hearts getting brighter and brighter. And as that light in our heart gets brighter and brighter, we see that light shine out to the center of the circle. And we notice the person next to us, their heart is getting brighter and brighter, and that light shines out to the center of the circle. And as we look around, everyone's heart is shining so bright with a beautiful white light, shining to the center of the circle, connecting each and every one of us with the light of our hearts. And the entire circle is bright, lit up with this passion, with this light, purpose. It fills the room. And we find ourselves sitting together in this community, just awake, tuned in, ready to share, ready to connect, just ready to be present and open. Taking a beautiful breath. Exhale. And another breath. Inhale. And another breath. Exhale. Gently opening the eyes. And being here, right now. With each other. I'm so glad you're here.
Well, I wanted to be here.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Just connecting, right? It's just time. That was the reason behind this is, and I'll get to that question for myself later about community, but just how to connect with each other more, right? And this is the way we're doing it now, is virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And this time to really think about, what does connection mean?
For sure.
And so I wanted to do this, to just come together. And like I said, we're all sort of in the same mind frame of serving. And that's a question I ask myself all the time, is serving. How do I serve my community? How do I serve myself, my family, my friends? And so I want us to learn from each other and also to share with others. Yeah. So again, if we want to share this, I want people to know who we are. So I'd like for you to just introduce your name, who you are, where you're from, and not what you do, right? That typical question, but what excites you about every day.
Okay. So my name is Joan, and I live in London, Ontario. I'm originally from India, and I have 3 young adults, and I'm an empty nester. So after my kids left for university and I would keep bugging them and troubling them, they asked me to get a life. So I, I
Mom,
tried
get a life.
get a life because they were tired of me texting them and calling them and trying to see what they were up to. So I decided I'll get a life. And I joined Toastmasters in order to be a better speaker. And I started reading a lot. I started exercising a lot. And then I found Intensati. So my 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 goal and my focus um, and my journey has been to find my voice and to empower myself and empower others and help them find their voice and help them find their light and spread it wherever they go, just as I do the same. So basically, I surround myself with people who are honest, who are passionate, who are empowered, and who are generous and kind.
So good.
Thank you.
So good.
How about you?
Yeah, so I'm Dawn. I'm from Brighton, Michigan. I have 4 boys. 2 are in college, 2 are still home. Husband is here. He's actually outside working on our new deck right now, pounding
Ooh,
away.
nice.
Yeah, and what excites me every day, just blessings, right? I've learned to take a look at my blessings. What do I have? Kids and my health and my family and friends and my home, right? Simply the roof over my head and the water in my water bottle. Learning to really stay present and be excited about the little things every day. And serving, like when I look down at what is it I want to do every day? What is it that really excites me, that really keeps me doing what I do? It's helping others, being my best. I have to be my best in order to serve others. And so I have to take care of myself and using good habits from like the Intensati practice, good habits, morning practice, meditation, journaling, moving my body. When I fill myself up and take care of myself, I am so much better for others. And that's
Absolutely agree with that.
powerful. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you. So to our first question, how do you use your focus to create the reality you seek?
So for me, just like you, it is very important to be centered and I almost focus ever since Patricia taught us on how do you create a perfect day. And I've asked myself the question, what does my perfect day look like? And my perfect day involves prayer. I have deep faith. All of my life struggles have taken me through because of my faith. I meditate, um, not as much as I want to, but I still sit in silence. But mainly for me, um, meditation is not just meditation per se, but it's um, such a marriage of prayer and being quiet together. Like so, I cannot separate one from the other. And like people who don't have faith, like for them they might just use the word meditate. But for me, um, meditation is more prayer. Meditation is just being grateful. Meditation is just asking for strength, living in hope, living in faith, that all my struggles, I just put them in front of the Lord and say, here, take it forward. And to me, it's very important. I have a prayer altar in my house. So every morning when I wake up, I light a incense stick, I light a candle, and I literally just empty whatever is going to go on for the day right at his feet and say, hey, it's on you now, not my problem. So just trust, just hope and trust. Um, so that takes away a lot of my worry, and I'm able to focus on my job better. And I keep working on me. Basically, I just keep working on me and moving forward every single day. I walk in the faith and the trust that only good comes my way. I really believe that only good comes my way. I bless my day, because that's another thing I learned over the years. So I bless my day each day, because when you bless the day has to respond in that way. It always ends up being a blessed day. I always focus on being a miracle to somebody, and I always expect a miracle or a blessing in return. So
So good. So how I use my focus to create my reality. So there's two pieces I've looked at, and that was meditation and journaling. When I look at how I'm my best, it's when I use those two practices. When I'm my best, I can tell the difference when I'm using meditation. Everything slows down for me. I see clearer. Um, and I know when I'm not using my meditation, everything's so fast and I'm chaotic and I don't feel stable. I don't feel centered. And so using those practices help me create the life I want to live, which is peaceful and content and happy and fulfilled. And I use journaling the same. When I use journaling, it's a way of dumping out the old. It's similar to how you said with prayer. You in the morning you just dump it and just take this,
Yeah.
and that's what I do. It's a dumping, and I just dump it, and then of course what I find, all that good comes to the surface.
Yeah.
All the things I know I'm here to do, all the ways I'm here to serve starts to show itself. It's there, but it hides from the clutter. And so if I use those practices and I'm faithful to myself, I find my way, clears the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and to add to that, it's not just prayer and meditation, but it's also I need to move. I need to move every single day, at least half an hour, because if I don't, there's an edge about me, and there's an angst about things. So if I wake up in the morning, I do my half an hour of exercise, I do my prayer, whatever, then I'm good to go. Just bring it on, no problem.
Yeah.
But I need to move. I have to move every day.
Yeah. Something I've learned in the past several months through this COVID thing is I need to move more. My body feels good when I move every day, whether it's walking a couple miles or a huge intensity, just all out, full out sweat fest.
Yeah.
It's just, again, the whole list, the whole package.
Exactly. I find I might sit and pray, whatever, but if I haven't moved, there's a angst about it, and somehow, but it's lovely when you move, whatever it is. And I think it's important for people to remember that it does not necessarily mean half an hour. You know what, even 5 minutes, whatever. Sometimes if I'm really busy, I just say to my, hey Google, put the timer for 5 minutes, and I do the steps up and down, up and down, up and down. And or I'll say, hey Google, like in between the day, give me 5 more minutes, and then I do jumping jacks, so I do whatever, right? And it's when I do that, like I just feel the blood rush, I just feel everything good, and it's all good.
Yeah. So good.
So good. It's these are little tricks that I wish I knew when I was younger.
I know.
Right?
Me too. I know. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because when I was in college, my mom gave me this little plaque thing, and it said, "Stop and smell the roses," because I've had this, tendency to always be very like in my head and moving, and so she reminded me at a very young age. Which is in college is when I found meditation and breath work, and all these tools I still teach, and it's a consistent muscle flexing. Pause, smell the flowers. I taught that to my kids when they were younger, and they have their fits and whatever. It's like, smell the flowers, just smell the flowers. And that was our way to breathe. That's a lesson in breathing,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So the more teach this to younger people, oh my, the world, looks so differently, right?
For sure.
Don't wait till you get to college. Don't wait till you get to adulthood to learn.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Hey. All right, what's our next question? What was the biggest challenge this year for you, and how did you navigate through it?
Oh, I got a very big one, baby. You know what? I think I really think finding myself helped me, because I am truly proud of myself, because the decision that I made was I read this beautiful book, and thanks to one of my students, uh, Leonore, you know, from my Indian Sari group.
Mm-hmm.
So she was one of my students, and one day I shared with her what I was struggling with my marriage and stuff like that. And she sent me this. She sent me the name of this book. It's called Love Yourself. It's a itty bitty book. It's an itty bitty book, but a big bold message. And in there, he says, all you got to do is you got to change your ticker tape in your mind. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Right. And he actually talks about, he says, if I knew then, if I knew now what if I knew then what I know now, I would have never gotten a divorce. And he says, the reason being is when you try to get a divorce, you're living in the past, you're living in fear of the future, but you're not living in the present. And to me, that really spoke, because I thought, here I am practicing about being present. And how would I navigate this otherwise? Right? And finally, when I came to terms with that, it's like, no, I'm going to live in the present. Okay, today, in this moment, what can I do that will keep my sanity, that will help me to move forward? And based on those questions, I made some choices, which I think are very fair and very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we care for ourselves and love ourselves, when we're faced with those challenges, the solutions are there.
Yes.
You know, the solutions are there. We're paying attention, because
You're paying attention.
first and foremost, it's about, how do I love myself? How do I care for myself?
Yes. Yes.
And then we know the answers are there. It's not easy. They're not
It,
easy.
God, it's not easy. But the beauty of it all is when you honor yourself, everything just falls into place.
Yes.
It just miracles happen. That's all I
Yes.
can say. Just
Yes.
miracles happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Yeah. So my biggest challenge this year, and how did I navigate through it? It's an interesting year. Because the one thing that was quite different for me, like versus it seems like a lot of people was, with this whole year, was being alone. I've really been appreciating the quiet alone time. But with that, I live with 5 other people. And so it wasn't so quiet and alone. When you're with people. And so that was a challenge for me. I love my family, love my boys, love my husband, but I need that alone time to refresh and rejuvenate. And it was being able to figure out what works for me, in order to refresh in a way that's healthy. Because what I do for a living too, which didn't slow down, is therapy, counseling, and went all online to do that. But I was consistently with people, really. So there was isolation, but not really isolation. And so it was, how do I navigate through wanting to give to my family through this time and give to my clients during this time? And then what about me? You know, what do I need to kind of get through this in a way that's healthy, for me, and so that I don't get drained? And so that was a big challenge. That was the biggest one.
How did you navigate that?
Yeah. Having my morning practice, right? I have to get up before everybody else gets up, have my morning time journaling, exercise. That was a huge thing during this time, that I thought, this is what I need. I need to go take my walk. I need to do my exercise. Because you start to feel, like you said, that angst. It feels like this like this unsettledness. And I found that if I go and work out, if I exercise, it just find my center again.
Yeah.
And so it's learning how to get to take care of me. And it was those old, when we go through crises, right? Old stories come up.
Yes.
And those old stories come up of, how do I serve? How do I give? And I'm giving. I'm like, well, that's an old story. I got to take care of me. I'm okay. I'm important. I'm worthy. I need to take care of me too. You know, I don't have
Mhm.
toddlers. I have teenagers. They can
Yeah.
they can take care of themselves
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part. How do
And
I take care of me?
it's also letting go of the ego, I think, right? Like, I mean, I find that, I used to be a perfectionist. Oh my God, the dishes have to be so and whatever. But it
Mhm.
really comes from a place of ego, of being wanting to control everything
Yes.
versus letting go, and then it's easy,
Yes.
right?
So true. Control and having to be in charge. We don't have to be in charge of everything. It's okay. The house does not fall apart if the dishes aren't done. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And our next one, community. Why is community important to you?
Uh, I realized throughout COVID that I'm an introvert. Though I may seem I'm an extrovert, but I really realized I was very content to be quiet, to
Mhm.
be by myself,
Yeah.
and I don't need too many people to give me that. I need a few focused, positive people, and go from there. Um, this sense of calling to serve is my life, and in that way, I think that way community is important to me. And but I don't have this daily need to know people's business, to make small talk. No, that's not me. I'm here to serve, and I found a way to fulfill that need by doing my own practice, by doing my Facebook lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays. um, to me, that was, those 2 days a week were enough to give of myself. I do volunteer with Youth Opportunities Unlimited, and I volunteer with Junior Achievements. I teach their financial program, literacy programs. So between that and work and this, uh, that's plenty for me. I can't give, uh, like my cup runneth over, kind of, then I get empty.
Yeah.
But absolutely anything to do with helping people find themselves, find their center.
Mm.
Um, that is my community.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it took a little shift this past year with me in community. I've always been someone that doesn't hasn't had a big group, right? Like the big friend group, communities. The biggest community I've found so far in is through the Intensati community.
Me too.
And they're all over the place, New York, Canada, LA, gosh, Jessica, she was in
Israel.
all Israel, yes, all over. And it was like,
Yeah.
wow, but those are the people. And what I found because I felt like a shift, how I described it when I was thinking this through, was there's this shift in my heart about community, because there's always been this sense of like I have enough, like the introvert extrovert kind of thing. I have enough going on. I'm okay. I need some downtime. But what does this look like on the outside? Like extrovert, like I work with people every day. I talk to people all day long. I have clients. What part's filling me up? And it touches on what you said, these
Yes.
deep conversations that mean something.
That means something.
Yes,
Yeah.
that feels good.
That feels good, and that you don't feel
Yes.
tired, and that, like,
Oh,
I've spoken to someone from Israel, like late at night or early in the morning, but it doesn't feel invasive, because when you share heart, you share from a point of learning, you share from a point of giving, you
yes.
know
Yes.
and you're right, that is what community is.
Yeah. So
It's not
different.
the chitter chatter. Oh, I
Right.
got a new shirt. No, I
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Leave me out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I was listening to a talk once, and it was Tony Robbins that he was being interviewed, and they asked him, "Don't you get tired of talking about your stuff all the time? Like when parties and this?" And he went, "No, that's the stuff I love, the deep stuff." He goes,
Yes,
"That's the stuff. I could talk about that all day. That fills me up." And I was like, "That's it. Yes, that's it.
correct.
That stuff.
Yep.
That's what's so exciting."
Yeah.
Just how do we connect? That's community, right? Connecting and really getting filled up with each other, deep stuff, not always easy, hard stuff,
Hard stuff. Yeah.
but hard, sometimes hard, messy, uncomfortable stuff. But when we connect from that place of heart, like we're
Right.
kind.
And I think it's all about, I see you, I hear you. You know, you live in Michigan, I live here in Canada, but I know, like, oh my God, if I need someone to just run something by, I could pick up that phone and say to you, like I did, Dawn, I need you. I need you to mentor me. Or you know, or you needed to reach out and you reached out to me. And it's the same with, you know, giving Alicia a call or you know, I don't know. I feel, you feel that connection so strong that the miles don't matter. The
Right.
distance doesn't matter. It's like, I I remember your living room when I visited you, and it's like I'm right there. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so what? Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it saved me, you know, 4 hours of driving, but I'm right there, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that truly is community now. And I
Yeah.
think COVID has shown us that.
Yes. Yeah. So much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels good. I'm getting so much clarity, so much more clarity through this time on what's, you know, who's important, what's important, who do I connect with, who don't I, you know, just,
Yeah.
you know, and then nurturing that. I think that's my
Nurturing
next
that.
step, right? You
Yes.
know,
It's
is
important to nurture. It's a two-way street.
yes. And I think that's my next step is how do I nurture now that I've kind of felt what it feels like to have those important connections. Okay, now I have to nurture those.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be present in that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And you know, this is something I learned from my daughter. Um, do not always feel that you should be the one nurturing. Like it has to be two-sided.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's almost been my it's been my principle now for a little while now. You know, I give very deeply, I give. But if someone does not respond after 3 times and it's one-sided, I stop. I just stop until they realize for themselves, oh my God, you know what? Joan hasn't called. Why hasn't Joan called? And I'll openly say, this is a two-side street. If you didn't miss me enough,
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you in my life. You don't need me in my life.
We don't need each other. Right.
Yeah. We served our purpose.
Yep.
It doesn't mean we are not friends.
Right.
And I'm still here, but our friendship has gone to a next level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there are different, I think it's so important to recognize that there are different levels of friendship. There are different levels and needs. And I think once you look at a relationship with a holistic view, for want of a better word, it's easier to navigate your community and your friendships, and just be happy overall.
Yeah. So true. So good. It's always good connecting with you.
You as well, Dawn. You
Always.
as well. Yeah.
I think that was all the questions I had.
And then we're talking about our vision for the future. So you go first this time.
Yeah. The key for me is where can I serve, right? I feel too, as you had said early on, like I'm a servant, I'm here to serve, you know, and I get joy out of the most joy I get is seeing people reach their goals, seeing people find their truth, right? And for me, finding our truth is our value. It's in there. We all have it. It's just sometimes gets covered up by all this other stuff. And so to keep moving forward and to keep creating this vision of my future is to continue to serve people from the heart, to serve and find the way to do that, you know, and what's my way, you know, what's my way to do that. And I continue to do Intensati because it's saved me many, many times over. Meditation continues to serve me. I know how I feel when I'm not using my practice. And one thing I've come to in this time right now, again, being a therapist, I'm busy, have been busy since the beginning of COVID, have been busy for many years, but COVID And now there's a shift again of people needing more help right now, like overwhelming. And I don't have the time in the day to keep helping people who keep calling. And it might just be my giving mentality or my serving, but how do I help everybody? And so my vision now to move on into that step is to create courses. So I'm creating more online courses for people so I can give more to more people, because I only have so many hours in the day to serve, because I see clients one-on-one, and I find that, okay, and I always ask for guidance, right? From God. I always ask, where do you want me to go? How do you want me to serve? And so that came up for me. It's like, people keep calling. I want to help people, but I only have so many hours in the day. How can I do more? How can I give? And when I thought about that, and I can't remember how I came across doing online courses, but I got really excited. And that's a way to check myself. Like, if I have this dream for what's next, does it excite me, or does it seem like work? Right?
Yes.
Was it going,
Yes.
it's a should, or is it like, oh yeah, this is good?
Yeah.
So that's how I gauge too what's to come. Like, where's my next step? How does it feel? Does it excite me?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my vision moving forward, is continue to serve, continue to be true to myself by checking in. Does this light me up?
Yeah.
If it lights me up, then I can share it with others. And if it doesn't light me up,
Absolutely.
it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's
That's
the
great.
next journey.
That's great. Yeah. You know, Marianne Williamson, right? Love.
Oh, yes.
Where would you have me go today? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom? Like, compel me to write action.
Yes.
Right. So asking ourselves that question is very important.
Yes.
Well, for myself, I can't say I have a very clear vision in that way. But my vision, as you know now, my next steps, which I'm not ready to share openly as yet. But my focus is on getting that project completed, and then, but basically just continuing on my journey of helping others through my intensity, because I find the more I do it, yeah, I'm not perfect, but I I feel empowered. And there are so many people who've reached out, even as far from India, and they'll say to me, "Oh my God, we love your class," or my students say to me, it's because of what you do that makes us smile. It's the best part of our day, and just things like that make me realize that, you know what, it's not about perfection, but it's about taking action. It's about moving forward every single day, and just being the best you can be, and in whatever you do, like be it at work, or be it, reaching out to your colleagues, and giving them a listening ear, and that kind of thing, and just going from there. So
Yeah.
focus is to just work on me and keep moving forward, and letting go of ego, um, and just spreading my light.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've got a lot of light to share too. I love it. Your energy is so powerful.
Oh,
Your
thank you.
classes.
Thank
And it's
you.
amazing what we can feel through the internet, right?
Really.
When you're doing your class, when you're doing your meditation, and that's the thing you said, you can feel like when you have it, I don't remember the word you just said, but is it passion, or you feel it, and so you want to share it, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, and
Yeah.
that's how it works. Like, we share what we love, and then people
Yeah.
feel that.
And it's funny you touched on the same thing, but for me, every time before I do a class, the 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes just before, like, I wake up very early to make sure everything is fine, but the last 5 minutes before the class actually starts, I just sit in silence. I play my meditation song, and I say to God or the universe, use me. Use me as an instrument. And it's not for me, but it's for your glory. And I find that when I do that, I I come out with a sense of, I did my good in the world today.
Yeah.
It may not have been perfect, but I gave it my best shot, because I do. I give it my best shot. I still screw up on the counts, but I I don't even,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't
Because you
matter.
know what? If there are people out there just like me, like I'm not a gym teacher, I am not a fitness person, but I am happy with what I do because it makes me happy.
Right.
And I hope that my goofiness and my lack of counts will, there'll be people just like me who'll say, she's just like us, it's okay, and go from there,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's important. I think when you come from a place of how can I serve? How can I just do what I am put here on this earth to do? I think you touch more hearts like that.
100%.
Yeah.
100% for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you said, I have a little tickle. Like I wrote down just purpose, not perfection. Like you said, it's not like we're not perfect. None of us are. And purpose, if we stay with our purpose, if we follow that, what we're drawn to, that purpose.
Yeah.
We
That's all
shine.
that matters.
And that's all
Yeah.
that matters. That's
It's all that matters. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. But thank you. Thank
So
you for
good.
asking these empowering questions. And, hopefully, through our conversations, we can help others find their light, find their purpose, and know that you don't have to be extraordinary. You can be ordinary folks just like us. And we can be perfectly imperfect. And
Yeah.
we each can make a difference in the world.
Just takes one.
Exactly.
Right, one at a time. That's all it takes. One step at a time every day, one person.
Yeah. And I think, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Go ahead.
But I think, and this just came out just now as we speak, wouldn't it be lovely if through this conversation of ours, two other friends pick themselves and ask these same questions and play it forward? I think it is worth a challenge.
Yeah, I love the challenge. I love it. I would love to see that conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we should both share it on our networks.
Yes.
And then tag two friends and say, hey, now your turn. These are the 5 questions.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes.
And let's play it around.
I love it, Joan.
And see how this whole, we just eliminate boundaries and let people be talking to each other. And
it's like, let's
do that.
Let's create a conversation that has purpose.
Yes, there you go. I like that theme. A conversation with purpose.
Yeah.
And so once this recording is done, let's share it on our Facebook page. Let's challenge people. Come on, pick 2, share your conversations, share conversations. So then that way, even though we took this 1 hour today, may it go to 1,000 hours. I would love for it to reach 1,000 hours.
I would love to see that. That's a good goal. That's
okay.
I love it. I think that's great. High five.
High five. Awesome.
So good. Oh yeah. So we'll have to see how that challenge goes for sure.
Okay.
Oh, I love it, Joan. Such great ideas.
Yeah.
So
it just came. So it's not me, it's the spirit. So
yep. We stay open, and that's what amazing what happens, right? Miracles happen every day.
Miracles happen. Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joan.
All right.
So good to talk to you.
You as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
So have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes. Take care.
Hey, you too.
Let's see what happens with this.
See what happens.
Wouldn't it be amazing?
Put it into action, right?
Put it into action.
For sure. We're going to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.